Hello, I'm Elliot Stewart. I'm here at Norcon with lots of sci-fi amazing legends, including one that scared the bejesus out of me. Is actually Terry Molloy, who is, for me and lots of other people, Davros. So, Terry, how are you enjoying Norcon today?
I have found lots of Dalek replacements for my Praetorian Guard. It's been excellent.
Oh my goodness, he completely scared me just then. I just got transported back to the 80s and I have to change my trousers. That was very scary. So when you first got given the Davros role, if you don't mind me saying, some people played Davros before you.
Yes.
I don't think with as much gravitas as you add to it, and everything. So when you got given that gig, if you like, did you look back at their performances or did you come in with your own individual spin on it?
I had to look back on Michael Wish's performance because I was 16 when Doctor Who started, so I was a total fan through Hartnell and Troughton. But then, of course, I went off to university. I went to work. There were no videos in those days. I totally missed Pertwee and Tom Baker. So when they came to say, "Do you know about Doctor?" I said, "Yeah, of course, I'm a fan." Know about the Daleks? Yes, of course I do. Know about Davros? I went, who? Because I'd not seen him. So they sat me down in front of Genesis and said, "This is who we're bringing back."
Because I think when you first came out of Davros, I think Resurrection of the Daleks, if I'm right, you've been frozen for a while, and you attack Dirty Den. Yes. I was quite surprised by that.
Well, he wasn't Dirty Den in those days. I think it was a result of him being on the floor doing that, because it was Matthew Robinson who was directing it, who was at the same time doing prep work for EastEnders.
Yeah.
And I think he saw something in his performance that said, "Oh, this is Dirty Den." It was. The worst part was sitting in all that dry ice for ages while they lifted up the thing, But it was not comfortable. People say, "Oh, it must have been lovely zipping around." I said, "No, the BBC, you've got a supermarket trolley base which always goes the way you don't want to go, covered in 4x2 timber with two lead 12-volt car batteries in the back and a hole in the floor. You've got to pull it around with your toes."
Oh, you have to do that?
Oh, yeah.
I always assumed that you weren't in... No, I thought you were the voice artist. You had to put you in the costume as well.
I was the whole thing. The mask,
oh my goodness.
The voice, the whole body bit, yes, as well, yes.
I mean, that must be one of these things where you're really working on the voice and sometimes there's a physicality in it and you get in the costume and realise you can't do that physicality anymore. It's all going to be in the...
It's interesting because it internalises and putting on the costume, and I didn't realise just how much the mask informs the character by being in it.
Yeah.
Because, you have to move your mouth in a very particular way to get any movement on the outside, because they were foam latex in those days, not the nice prosthetics we have now. And so you're beginning to talk already in this staccato manner, and then you're inside this thing and it's getting hot and you're getting a bit paranoid, and before long Davros appears and the Doctor must be exterminated.
You scared me again. That was really good. Now,
it's like doing an audio, doing a voice thing inside a mask. The mask is doing a lot of the job for you.
Yeah.
You're painting the picture in people's minds as well. And that's what I loved about it, because audio is my life, really. That's where I spent most of my time and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, it's nice. I do an audio thing myself. I've got a Doctor Witch, which is a comedy sci-fi thing, which has the evil Skeptonauts who are like the Daleks and everything. It's a sort of spoof, but also a homage. And it is interesting, as you say, when you're being Davros, I assume you don't wear the mask when you're doing it for audio, so you've got to get that restricted.
No, they can change, because it's basically the voice which is then changed in the box. Slightly altered, ring modulated, not to the same level as Daleks, but ring modulated to create this slightly metallic. It's just a voice. And the
So do
voice
you have
I could do.
do you have a favourite? Everyone else says, what is your favourite line that you probably get people saying say this line, but is there a line that you really relish playing Davros? Oh, I really enjoyed saying that or doing this.
Yeah, in Revelation with Colin, because he gets really furious about the fact that I'm using these dead bodies to feed the universe, you know. And he says, surely you must have told the people you're feeding their relatives to the rest of the people. And Davros says, certainly not. I believe that would have created what they term consumer resistance. You know, he's got a wicked sense of humour as well.
Well, I like in that one particularly, we were talking about it earlier on, where you got to chat up Eleanor Bron, and you're being all charming. Don't use my name on an open channel, because you're the great healer. And it's really weird seeing like you, and you're like, there's a little pink light round your frame, and you're not evil, you're hiding your evilness, which is rather cool.
No, quite so. I mean, it was a great cast in that one. You know, there was Eleanor, there was William Gaunt, there was Clyde Swift, Jenny Thomason, Alexei Sale. It was an amazing cast. And a very lovely dark story, which was kind of more Davros than Doctor Who. I mean, he got covered in plasticine bits of himself and then wandered in at the end and solved it all, you know. But
yeah, the Doctor's barely in that one, and when he is, it's all, and everybody dies. That's that weird thing of like, I think Davros is probably the only survivor. He always comes back. And one of my favourite bits, I say, is Sylvester McCoy, where he tricks you into using, and you have to say, have pity on me, and he has, I have pity for you. So seeing Davros caught out, it's quite a surprise. My teenager, I was like, Davros has won. Oh no, wait a minute, he hasn't. So that was quite a twist, I thought.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, Colin and I were talking about this the other day, that in fact, the Doctor and Davros, they kind of need each other. Because they're both on the same level of intelligence. And they realise that, and they're both on their own. They know that as well.
Yeah.
And in a sense, it's like, they kind of need each other so much that it's like an intellectual three-dimensional chess game. It's not about winning the war, it's about how you play the battle. And most of that is done in very neat little surreptitious snips rather than big, violent, blowing everything up games. Leave that to the Daleks and we'll just get on with the subtleties in the background, you know. Which is great, you know. And in fact, in one of the Paul McGann big finishes, Davros says to him, "You do realise you're the closest thing I have to a friend."
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, and you think, yeah, that's where it's at. You know, it really is.
I mean, you've been given obviously that's quite the villain. So do you relish? Most actors do enjoy playing a baddie once in a while, but are you one of those actors that likes being a baddie?
I love being a baddie. So much more fun than being a goodie.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the Doctor has a rough time because they're so good. You know, whereas I can be really evil. You know, or you know, not $1 million evil, but subtly evil in different ways. Because I mean, people say, "What's it like being evil?" I say, "I have no idea."
Yeah.
You know, nobody's born evil. It's something to do with the way they grew up. And when we were doing our Davros, we really had to check out where he'd come from. You know, and he'd got to be a bit on the spectrum insofar as absolute savant mind and brilliant. And he sees a problem and he goes for it. Anybody in the way gets blown out.
Wow. I hadn't thought about it like that. I mean, they brought him back as a little boy recently in the Peter Capaldi thing, which I think slightly spoiled the mystery for me. I liked it being alluded to, that we never quite know what twisted him. But you don't seem very twisted at all. You seem like quite a nice person.
I can be very twisted.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to me today. That was awesome. Thank you.